What if I told you that one of the most repeated pieces of financial advice you have ever heard might actually be costing you money? Should you rent or should you buy a home? That is the question, and the answer might completely surprise you. Stay around to see why. Picture this. You are at a family barbecue and your uncle leans over and says, "Renting is just throwing your money away." Everyone around the table nods like he just revealed the secret to life. But here is what nobody at that table is telling you. The full picture of what homeownership actually costs, and whether buying truly beats renting when you run the honest numbers. Today we are going to strip away the emotion, cut through the noise, and look at the real math behind one of the biggest financial decisions of your entire life. Now, before we even get into the numbers, let us address the emotional weight this topic carries. Buying a home feels like arriving. It feels like you have crossed some invisible finish line into responsible adulthood. Renting, on the other hand, gets treated like a financial confession of failure. But here is the problem with that entire framing. Feelings do not show up on a balance sheet. And the moment you make a decision this significant based on emotion rather than evidence, you're setting yourself up for serious financial pain. So let us start separating the two, because the math tells a very different story than what most people believe. The first thing almost everyone gets wrong is comparing rent to just the mortgage payment. Someone will say their rent is $1,800 a month, but a mortgage on a house they love would only be $2,200, so for just $400 more they could own. That logic sounds clean. It is not. Because your mortgage payment is only one piece of a much larger puzzle, and the other pieces are ones most people never account for until they are already in the house and staring at a bill they did not expect. So what does buying actually cost when you add everything up? On a $400,000 home with 10% down, your mortgage alone at current interest rates sits around $2,200 monthly. But then add property taxes, homeowner insurance, and maintenance estimated at about 1% of the home value annually, and suddenly your real monthly cost jumps to over $3,000. Compare that to renting a comparable place for $1,800 a month and you are looking at over $1,300 more every single month just to own. And that gap does not even account for closing costs, emergency repairs, or unexpected expenses. But here is where the story gets genuinely interesting, and it changes everything. What happens to that $1,300 difference every month if the renter actually invests it? If someone consistently puts that money into a low-cost index fund earning an average annual return of 7% over 30 years, the math becomes staggering. That gap could grow into over $1.5 million. That is not a typo. Renting can actually build more wealth than buying, but only under one very specific condition that most people completely fail to meet. And that condition is the reason homeownership still wins for a huge portion of the population. Most renters do not invest the difference. They spend it. On food, on subscriptions, on lifestyle upgrades, on things that feel necessary in the moment but build zero long-term wealth. And this is exactly why a mortgage functions as forced savings for millions of people. Every single month the bank requires you to make that payment. Part of it chips away at your principal. You are building equity whether you feel disciplined or not. The structure does the work for you. So the real question is not whether renting or buying is mathematically superior in theory. The real question is which one matches who you actually are with your actual habits and what you truly value. But before you answer that, there is one more cost hiding in plain sight that almost nobody talks about. Opportunity cost. When you hand over a $40,000 down payment, that money is no longer liquid. It is no longer working in the market. It is locked inside four walls. The house may grow in value over time, yes. But you have concentrated a massive chunk of your wealth into a single asset in a single neighborhood in a single local economy. That is not automatically safe simply because it has a driveway. And if you sell within 3 to 5 years, transaction costs alone can eat most or all of your gains. Timing matters enormously here. So how do you actually know when buying makes sense? Plan to stay at least 5 to 7 years. Make sure you can comfortably afford the full monthly cost including taxes, insurance, maintenance, and repairs, not just the mortgage. Always protect your emergency fund after closing. Buying a home and having zero cash reserves left over is simply renting from the bank with extra stress attached. Compare your actual local market numbers, not national averages or your coworker's city. And be ruthlessly honest about your own financial behavior. That self-awareness is worth more than any spreadsheet. Here is the bottom line. Neither renting nor buying wins automatically. Both are tools. The one that builds your wealth is the one that matches your numbers, your timeline, your discipline, and your actual life. Stop making this decision based on Instagram posts of people holding house keys. Stop letting social pressure drive what might be the largest financial commitment of your life. Run the real numbers. Protect your financial foundation first. Because the goal was never to just own a home. The goal is to own your future. And that only happens when your decisions come from clarity, not fear. If this helped you see the full picture, subscribe, drop a thumbs up, and tell me in the comments, are you renting, buying, or still figuring it out?